Hello there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a 4,000 point game I had with my Orcs against some Skaven. So this first picture here, just showing our generals. He has a Grey Seer that's on the bell there, and I have my Savage Orc Ninja War Boss, who's -2 to hit, extra hand weapon, and has killing blow. So this one here, we're both going with crazy big hordes, and it's the watchtower. You can see that in the middle, so let's take a look at it. Alright, so I won the role to start defending it, so I had to throw some Night Goblin archers in there. But one of the things you're going to first notice is that there's no other terrain, and that's because due to space and time and stuff like that, I mean, both of our deployments go from board edge to board edge. And when we rolled for it, we were supposed to have the maximum number of terrain. We just kind of looked at each other and decided, no, we'll just go with the one watchtower. So that's why it's simple, but you'll see it when you see all the units out there. So here's a picture of his main force. He mainly put his best things on the right flank here. So he has his bell unit. He has 10 rat ogres. He has a big unit of the storm vermin with Queek there, and it's all here on the right side. Meanwhile, my main unit, my Black Orc Horde that has my General, my BSB, and that level 4, were right dead center, ready to go after the Watchtower. Alright, so to quickly go over what everything is, left to right for me, I have some wolves, some night goblins with one boss, I have a squig herd, big horde of orcs, more night goblins with 2 bosses, that big horde of Black Orcs I talked about, then a troll with more night goblins, and I have 3 bosses in there. Then I have the orcs set up there with a war boss who has the battle axe of the last Wa, 4 chariots, chukkas, my doom diver, and on the right there I have 25 savage orcs with extra hand weapon. And for him, left to right, he has 30 rats. He has a whole bunch of giant rats. There's 4 more units of 30 clan rats there, and there's 2 engineers. Then going after the tower, he has his monks with the plague priest. Then a big unit of slaves, and behind them were the storm vermin. He had that 10 rat ogres on the right. There's another clan rats with his BSB, and in the back he has his Grey Seer, and there's actually another Grey Seer in that unit too. And as well, he also has that Snicket special character. So some quick thoughts on this game. My main thing is just to go and hit this right side as hard as I can with the chariots, counter after. I'm really just trying to keep him busy on the flanks while my Black Orcs just go into the tower for the win, but I just need those archers to hold off until they get there. So he gets first turn and he charges it. Fnatic runs out and is going to kill 4 of them. Here's just a picture of them after they ran through the Fnatic. And here's a picture after. Actually, I mean, they have a lot of attacks, right? They have 3 attacks each. The priest has a whole bunch, but luckily he only killed 21 of them, so I held thanks to my general and BSB, so that's a lifesaver. So left side just looks like this. He basically just ran up. And on the right side, the same thing. He has no shooting, and his magic phase I shut down this turn, so that was it. So on my turn, I slam into the rat ogres with all my chariots. But I should also say that to try and get the jump on him, I declared my Wa, and all 4 of these units over here all rolled a 1. So they can't do anything. Took some losses, and the bad luck was insane. But the main thing that you see over here is that my archers left the tower, my Black Orcs went into it. You can do that by reforming and then swift reforming, then moving up. Look at my podcast on the Watchtower Blitz if you want to know more information on it. But anyway, my troll just ran up to block the slaves, because by blocking the slaves they blocked the storm vermin. In that big combat I killed half the rat ogres, but they held because they're steadfast. And also my Savage Orcs failed to charge on his BSB unit there. And I actually forgot my entire magic phase, which was stupid, but at least my shooting did a couple of wounds to the bell. So his turn 2, he has a couple of charges on this side. Actually those other 2 units of rats tried charging as well, but they just failed. And with Skitter Leap, he actually put the Snicket right in my back lines. So he's probably going to be going after my war machines, but I'm totally fine with that. My main objective is the watchtower. So after the combats, I win both the ones over here, but he holds. Obviously he destroys my archers. His monks attacked the tower, but I mean now they're hopelessly outclassed, and now my war boss killed off his plague priest. His slaves attacked my troll, failed fear, and then didn't really do anything, so he held. And the rat ogres destroyed or sent the other chariots running off the board, but luckily they didn't go far enough that they hit into my unit. And now his BSP tried to charge my savage orcs, and they failed. So, yeah. So on my turn, my herd charges in, and on this side I have my night goblins joining in with the slaves. I'm going after the rat ogres, and my savage orcs are going after the assassinate that BSB. And after all said and done, everything's still holding on this side. And on this side, the slaves were exploded, ran down the rat ogres, and my savage orcs just fluffed everything, lost, and get run down. And actually that BSB has that banner so that I have to re-roll my leadership and my -1, so once I failed I was doomed. So his turn 3, he charges a bunch of my war machines, and both these units charge these orcs, so they're in big trouble, but the main thing is that they're away from the watchtower. And on the far side, the rats also join into these combats too to support. Magic phase hurts because he gets the 13th spell off of my black orcs and kills 15 of them. And then after everything's all done, I won the main 2 combats on the left, but he held all over, and then I netted myself and I lost in the combat with my night goblins, but you know, I'm within range of my BSB in general, but I failed the leadership 9 reroll, and so I got ran down, so that's no good. And then on this side, obviously my war machines are brutalized, and he kills my one other war boss over here with Queek, but I hold, so that's good. So now back to my turn. My herd fluffs all their attacks, explodes, so they're gone. My horde of orcs beat his guys, and they broke, but failed to catch any of them. And on this side, I hit the Stormworm on the flank with the troll in the rear with the night goblins. You know, they were netted and all this stuff, and I made them so they reroll 6s with magic, but still they did a lot of damage to my orcs. And so they won combat. The bell ran down the orc unit, but at least I had the storm vermin tied up. And even though it doesn't show it here, they're actually going to be turning around to face me. So his turn 4, these remainder of these rats hit me on the flank, but it does him no good. Just move over my character, beat them, and I'm just going to let them run off the board. His other units rallied, and then these 2 other units of rats at the bottom are now starting to go back to the tower. Alright, and so on this side, so my war machines are all gone now, but he actually failed his fear test with his storm vermin, and so between that and the netting and all these things, I beat them, they broke, and I ran them down. So, you know, the bell unit's still here, but, you know, that's looking a lot better than it did a few moments ago. So, back to my turn 4, my orcs, my night goblins charged the rats, the giant rats, beat them, run them down, going into the flank of that other unit. My orcs charged as well, and they're being held up by that other unit of rats. And on this side, my troll's out of range now, so he's just going to be stupid forever and running off, but my night goblins are just there to threaten the bell, so if they do go towards the tower, then I'm going to flank them. Alright, the game doesn't end, so we go to turn 5. The bell charges my unit, and Queek is skitter leaped over here to the tower. And after everything, it looks like this. So, his one unit ran off the board. I beat his unit of rats, my night goblins. They ran up. I beat his rats with my orcs, and they held. And now that his monks were all wiped out, he charged this unit of clan rats in there. They used the brood. They got death frenzy. But I just went to town with them with my dual choppas and almost wiped them out. So, yeah, nothing there. And on this side, I netted myself, so that didn't help. But I'm just trying to bring out the machine. Because right now, the bell is down to 2 wounds. The Greyseer is down to 1. So there's not much more before it's just a normal unit of rats. So my turn 5, I'm just kind of following that unit up. And my orcs beat the rats that they were fighting. And on this side, I managed to net myself again and still didn't kill... Oh, yeah, I did kill the Greyseer, but the bell's still there. But even though I lost, I held because I'm within range. And then with a roll of 5, the game was over. I held the watchtower, so that was it. Really just came down to I went after the objective, and he didn't till the very end. This is also only his 6th game, so he's still learning. He was really just trying to try out a huge horde this game. Really made for an interesting game with just tons of units and tons of combats going all over the place. Obviously, he's going to do a lot better if he turns a lot of these things to slaves and puts more points into getting weapons teams and hell pit abominations and all those fun stuff. So I'm sure next time I face him it's going to be a really different story. But anyway, it was still fun to play, and thanks for watching. Bye.